Hey YouTube, well I've promised you guys for a while that I'd get more content out, and well I'm finally getting the chance today. This is going to be kind of an informal tour, kind of impromptu. It's not going to be necessarily like that NX video was, but essentially my brother and my dad rented this 2014 Chevrolet Malibu. This is a 2LT and the silver ice metallic with the upgraded cloth interior. It's got the 2.5 liter 4-cylinder and just kind of your standard one from Enterprise. I mean, it's a go ahead and get to the chase. I mean, it's obviously not a class leader. This is the refreshed model because GM was having a little bit of trouble selling the 2013s, so they refreshed it. And I kind of tried to park it in the shade, but it's kind of making issues with the camera, so I apologize for that. But it's not a bad sedan. It's obviously, I mean, it competes with the Camry, Accord, Altima, that whole crowd. But I mean, I'm going to be honest, you buy one of these because of the great rebates that GM offers on it, and you want a comfortable, quiet sedan. But anyways, we'll go ahead and get started on it. Got the two switchblade key fobs, lock, unlock, trunk release, remote start, panic, that kind of thing. We'll go ahead and start it up and get on with the tour. So, like I said, this one's a 2LT, so this is the second trim level LLT, but there's an LS below this. Basically, if you get a 2LT, you get fog lights, the alloy wheels, a power driver seat, leather wrap wheel. Well, maybe that's 1LT. I don't know. It's something like that. Oh, I do know you get the standard dual zone automatic climate control. So anyways, stick the key in the ignition slot. And let's see if I can get both of these screens in here. Kind of got all that right there. We'll go ahead and cut on the headlights, fogs, hazards, roll down the automatic driver's side window. I think it's auto. No, it's just auto down. Front two windows are auto down. And we'll pop the hood while we're at it. But anyways, outside here, as I said, it's silver ice metallic, so it's a pretty nice color. Of course, this one's all dented and scratched up. Nice door handles. This door slam with a solid thud. Wow, I cannot talk right now. Chrome window surrounds, which are pretty nice looking. And then you come to the mirrors. These are not breakaway mirrors, and I don't like that. It does have this nice LED strip right there, which is a nice touch. But like I mentioned, if you get the 2LT package like this one has, you've got these really good looking 18-inch rims. They're simple, classic, good looking wheels. You can see this front overhang is really low. It's got that air dam underneath, and it's just a really low front overhang. And as you can see, that's caused some problems for the person that rented it before us, because as you can see, pretty dented up right there. And I apologize for all the bugs. This car drove from Middle Georgia to Omaha, Nebraska and back, so about 2,400 miles, and it's pretty bugged up. But you've got your fogs down below, halogen headlights, and obviously halogen high beams. And you've got the refreshed front end. You can tell this from the 13 because of the way the front end looks. And this one's got almost 40,000 miles, so it's going to be retired from the Enterprise fleet rather soon. Popping the hood though, I do like that you have a hood strut. You got the Ecotec 2.5 liter 5-cylinder. You can see it's kind of thumping away. I obviously can't comment on the way it drives because I didn't drive it, but I'll add the specs in below. And this one does have the auto start stop, which is a pretty common feature on these, because I did away with the Malibu hybrid and just put auto start stop on them to increase the fuel economy. So there's that. Hoods, I mean, everything shuts with solidity. It's not a bad car in terms of quality. Obviously, if it stood up through rental car abuse, you know, that's something to say. We'll go ahead and check out the back seat. And this seat is set for my, it's too far back for me. It's set for my 6'4" dad. And you can see I'm kind of barely in here, and I'm 6'2". So, I mean, I fit kind of comfortably, but it's not the most legroom. It's definitely not Passat territory. You can see it's kind of blank right here, but you do have dual mat pockets. This is kind of a vinyl. I mean, these obviously aren't the leather seats, but this is kind of a cheap feeling material. You got your adjustable headrest, two dome lights in the back, which is nice. Coming door panel, this is all rubber, which is nice. Again, you got chrome door handles, the kind of fake leather stitching, fake wood grain, which actually doesn't look too bad. I know Think Outside the Cube really likes that. I do like the stitching. Of course, it's all hard plastic, but you get that in all the class. And you do have a nice bottle holder right here. So overall, for back seat, it's really an upright seating position, which is not the most comfortable, but the seat bottom kind of takes care of that. Looking at the armrest, got two nice big cup holders and a little storage bin, which is nice. Again, I mean, like I'm saying, this car is nice. I mean, it's not gonna wow you, but it's just nice. It does what it needs to do. But like I'm pointing the camera to, it does have 4 handles and 2 coat hooks. But we will go ahead and pop the trunk. Let's see. Coming to the back, you can see where they kind of stretched it, because obviously you saw how much legroom was back there on the 14. There was less on the 13, so I can't imagine how small it was back there. You can see where they kind of stretched it. Looks kind of like a Pontiac G6 with the way they stretched and kind of molded. But it's got the Camaro taillights. Obviously these aren't as good looking as they are on the LTZ, but a little trunk popper right here. And you can see Eco, because this one has the auto start stop, and I just got road grime all over my fingers, which is nice. But they've got the battery back here. I guess they want to be a BMW and have 50-50 weight distribution. But you thankfully get a spare, which is not to be said on all cars, namely Hyundai and Kia. But it is what it is, and there's a 60-40 split folding rear seat, and it is a rather deep trunk, but it's not very tall, and there's no lining up above. But closing the trunk, shuts pretty solidly. You can see the view from the rear. Kind of an interesting looking vehicle with this kind of shelf thing and built-in spoiler and a built-in gas tank right there. Obviously, nice dent someone gave to it. Coming to the passenger seat, something I found really interesting is the way they set this up. Obviously, you can see the pieces missing right there because quality is great, but you can see they got an interesting power height adjuster. That's the only power switch. There's a manual recline and manual forward and backward. But you do have a glove box, which has got all the manuals in it, interestingly, and it is damped and dual latched. But we'll get inside here. So that's pretty much the exterior. You got the nice hood scallops. I don't have the most room to show you guys. They're doing work back in my normal filming spot, so I can't film back there. But you do have a 12-way power driver seat, which is kind of above what most of the class competition has. You have a 4-way lumbar, which is an interesting touch. Coming in and shutting the door, again, it shuts very solidly. Got to hold the window switch up. But if I turn the headlights back on auto, turn off those annoying hazards, we can get to the interior tour. It's a very interesting position the way you sit in here. It's kind of like Camaro-ish, where you're down in it. Like, it doesn't feel like, I don't know, you feel like you're kind of buried down inside the car. But you do have a very tasteful accent lighting. I do like all the accent lighting GM puts in their cars. This is a nice ice blue look to it. Of course, you have your door locks, chrome door handles, more storage, and then you've got your little drug compartment or change holder. It's kind of rattling. There's no change in there, so I don't know what's rattling. Gauge dimmer. A very interesting way to move these. There's no moving there, and you close it like that. It's kind of weird. You kind of adjust it with 2, which is different, but and then coming across, you can see how that same kind of line just runs all the way off. In terms of materials, this is all leather stitched, but there's no padding. There is actually padding here, which is, I was kind of surprised by that. And you've got this metallic accenting and some more padding over here. Then coming to the steering wheel, this is Chevrolet's classic three-spoke design here with your cruise control, which is awkwardly kind of like jutting out when you have it on. I don't know why they do that. It's very awkward to hold, like right here. This is very thick, but it does the job well, and at least it's rather leather wrapped. I do like that. It's a fat 3-spoke too. And you got your audio controls and Bluetooth. You got your intermittent wipers, which you awkwardly push up, but at least it's got intermittent wipers. It could not have those. And you got your tap for 3 blinks, which I do enjoy having. High beams, which you push on and push off. And then you've got your, here, move this vent out of the way. You got your gauges, which are the typical GM ice blue backlit, but it is what it is, and it looks fine enough. You can see it's got almost 40,000 miles on it, and it does have auto start or auto stop, which you can see right there, and off. But if I scroll through, you can see the mileage on this trip, digital speedometer, navigation, timer, average vehicle speed, instant fuel economy. They got 31 miles per gallon on the trip, which is not bad for a family sedan. Obviously it's not the best in the class, but it's just not bad. Fuel range, back to the beginning, if you go to menu, vehicle information, battery voltage, oil life, tire pressure, and whatnot. back to the beginning, and then you can set and clear by tapping the end. But down to the center console, which is the main affair here, you've got the 6-speed automatic transmission, which you bring all the way back. It's a very awkward shifter. I mean, I don't really love it. And then you put it back in manual, you can do the tap shift thing, which again is kind of awkward. You put it in reverse, there's actually no backup camera, and it's kind of a high deck lid back there. You can see that big blind spot, and the trunk rises unnecessarily, which is different, but everything, the locks kind of shut with a thud. I mean, it's not bad. Got the nice wood grain trim, cell phone holder, cup holder, you got your parking brake, again another cell phone holder, and another cup holder. Kind of a tiny center console, I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of padded there, but inside you can't fit much. You've got a USB and an aux and a 12-volt power outlet and a little spot to run your cords out. But the way it kind of thuds back, it's really kind of cheap. Obviously, got a little corner there. But coming to the center console, as I mentioned, got your dual zone automatic climate control, which is a feature on the 2LT. And you've got your traction control, your power outlet there in the middle. So 2 power outlets in this car, CD player. You got your shortcut buttons for your MyLink screen, which we'll get to in a second. So coming to the screen, of course, you've got the typical flip-up thing, which this is going to break one day, to be honest with you. I don't think a screen should open like that necessarily, kind of cheap. Especially with renters, it's going to break, but shutting it down like that, you can see the screen. You've got it is a touch screen, as you can see, and you can go back and whatnot. But if you go home, you can see it's got all the features you'd want: Bluetooth, USB, aux, whatnot, XM, of course, which this one's like 2 years old already, so that's not in use. Phone, Pandora, if you have a hooked up smartphone, of course. Weather does have XM weather, fuel, and you can download pictures because this is hard drive based. So again, it's not bad. You can go to favorites and whatnot and see your radio stations, which is kind of similar to the Tahoe we had. So we'll go ahead and look at the top roof here. You've got your thin visors, which are kind of yucky. Somebody put some makeup on there driving with that. You got your dome lights, you got your little interior illumination, which some people think is special to their certain older cars, but a lot of new cars have that too. Most cars, I think, have that. My car has it. I don't know. A lot of cars have interior illumination. And you got your dome lights, reading, whatnot, passenger airbag, OnStar. So we'll go ahead and shut it off, which I don't want to because I don't want to get out the AC, and it's 100 degrees here in Georgia. But I've probably rambled on long enough, but like what my dad and brother said when they rented it, and what I think of it, it's just not bad. Obviously, it's nothing exciting to buy. It's not necessarily best in class, but it's not bad. I mean, it'll get the job done, get you from point A to point B relatively efficiently, and pretty affordably too. So I'll go ahead and cut this video short, and I'll catch you guys next time.